Let's crack open a beer and share some thoughts.
Welcome to Hopinions on Films. It's Christmas and we're doing something that's a real departure for us in this series, aren't we?
Well, it's a bit different to Lost Boys and Infinity War, Steve.
Yeah, what are we watching?
We are watching Love Actually, a Christmas-themed rom-com.
Indeed, and of all the things that I ever thought I would be doing with you, sitting down to watch Love Actually wasn't one of them.
No, I think it was a bit of a shock to both of us to find that actually this was actually one of our favourite films.
Yes, yeah, mine too. It's a film that I actually religiously watch every Christmas.
Yeah.
Because I just love it. I think it does encapsulate the feeling of Christmas.
Oh, I love it. I mean, I don't know if I can't remember if I actually watched it at the cinema when it came out.
I think I did.
I actually can't remember, but I have seen it plenty of times since.
Yeah.
And Michelle, a couple of years ago, took me to one of those secret cinema things. So I didn't know what film we were going to see till I got in there. My first thoughts when I went in there, it might be like one of the Narnia films. And it turned out to be Love Actually.
Excellent.
Beaming from ear to ear. I had a few craft beers on at the bar.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Everything you need.
I suppose speaking of craft beer,
We should probably do what we do, which is enjoy a beer.
Yeah, so
cheers.
Okay, so we've got the last of the beers that Salt's very kindly sent to us, and it's a collaboration with Fine Ales. Just Another Dream, mango and guava fruited pale. Handily they say juicy and tropical, but I think you probably would have got that anyway.
You could have guessed that, yeah.
5.8%.
Well, I'm going to say, first of all, I thought we were just going to get fruit juice. Now, it is really fruity and it is really juicy.
Yeah.
But there's something else to it there.
Feels like the sugar's missing, as in any sort of. It feels like there's no addition of sugar, and I'm not saying other people do, but that's what it always reminds me of. And it's got a bit of a pithy bitterness at the end as well.
It is. I'm quite enjoying that.
And actually looks thicker than it drinks.
Yeah.
So for anyone who's not sure, it is a full-on fruit juice Merc bomb visually.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You know, it's proper Merc bomb.
It looks like Tropicana in the glass.
Yeah, definitely.
It's Tropicana breakfast juice. So
we've already missed we talked over the scene, as we generally do. As hopefully listeners are used to, the two or three of you that listen to this one. We've talked over the bit with Bill Nighy doing his
Billy
remake,
Mack.
doing his Billy Mack, with Gregor Fisher as, well, I was going to say as Ramsey Nesbitt, but he's not.
And that's a recurring theme throughout it as well, isn't it? Billy Mack keeps coming back with because he's on a quest to be the Christmas number one, isn't he?
Yes.
Essentially.
The unlikely Christmas number one.
Yeah.
And so we've already seen Colin Firth, who is off somewhere, and then we've flicked to Liam Neeson already.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you can remember back to the first time that you saw this, because it's a good few years old now, isn't it? It's what?
I'm going to say 2003 Christmas.
Yeah, so what's that? As we recalled, 16 years old now?
Yeah.
This is? So, if you can think back that far, I remember going to see it and not really knowing what it was about. And I found these opening scenes quite confusing in terms of what's going on here. We're jumping between a series of stories.
Actually, you are right, because if you think back to some of the other ones that Richard Curtis done, it tended to be stories flowing into each other.
Yeah.
This was a whole... we're probably on scene 6 now.
Yeah.
With the Chris Marshall character delivering sandwiches really badly.
Yeah, just kind of throwing them around.
Yeah.
So ultimately, it's a story of 10 different stories that all end up essentially becoming intertwined in one way or another.
Yeah, so you got various connections, which obviously again the first time you don't really get the connection.
Yeah.
I think even if you watch it the first time all the way through, you probably don't quite spot all the connections. Now, these two do crap me up during this film.
Yeah.
So this is Martin Freeman and Joanna Page, who are basically body doubles for the sex scenes.
Yeah. For a film. It's a very young Martin Freeman as well in this, isn't it?
Yeah, no, obviously he's done alright for himself since then.
Oh yeah, he's now in the Marvel universe.
He's been in 2 films in the Marvel universe, hasn't he? So he was in Civil War and then he was in Black Panther.
Yeah.
And oh look, and another Marvel character has appeared
Surely you would have reprised his role
for the last one.
in Endgame
I
as
would have
well.
thought so.
He must have been in Endgame.
But this guy was in. I can't pronounce his name.
Doctor Strange.
Yes, but I can't. Mondo. I
Yeah.
think it was, or Mondor. But I can't pronounce the actor's name, so I
Yep.
do apologise. So the black guy marrying Keira Knightley, I cannot pronounce his name.
And while we're talking about people that have gone on to do other things, I've forgotten the fella's name now. He's
Andrew Lincoln.
Andrew Lincoln.
Walking
gone on
Dead.
to find fame in The Walking Dead.
Did Teachers before that as well, didn't he?
Yeah, with one of the most grisly beards you've ever seen on television in The Walking Dead.
Well, I mean, it's the body of work these people have done.
Yeah, and now we're into a scene with Hugh Grant.
Yeah, who, to be fair, had done a fairly decent body of work at this ilk anyway, hadn't he?
Yeah, heading into number 10 Downing Street.
Yes.
So, the new Prime Minister. And as we record today, on the day that we're recording this, it's actually Hugh Grant's 59th birthday.
Oh, happy birthday,
Happy
Hugh.
birthday, Hugh.
So when you listen to this, Hugh, you can raise a glass.
You can indeed, yes.
Because we called you to give you a shout
You
out.
can just imagine Hugh Grant sitting back and listening to Hopinions on films.
And it might not surprise you to know, but I've dug out a few Doctor Who facts connected to this.
She
film.
was in Doctor Who.
She was in Doctor Who. She played Trish in Fear Her, which was a David Tennant and Billie Piper story.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it was one of my least favourite.
Right.
So, but yes. So what's she? His general manager, chief of staff.
Chief of Staff, yeah.
She's the chief of staff, isn't she? Now, I only ever knew Martin McCutcheon as Tiffany in EastEnders.
I think that's all she had done before this.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what she's done since.
I don't think she's done anything since.
I think she might have been in an episode or two of Spooks once, but that was it.
Maybe.
Well, hey, I mean, who would want a sensible prime minister these days, anyway?
Well, you wouldn't, but we're not going to go there. I don't think we're ever going to go there. We'll just keep the real world to one side for now.
Pretend it don't exist for the next 2 hours or so.
And lose ourselves in Love Actually for a bit.
Do you reckon, speaking about that, and not going on to political thing, but single man being voted as prime minister?
Yeah.
Do you reckon that would actually happen?
Apparently it has, because in doing some reading for this, they styled him on, I want to say Ted Heath was apparently a single prime minister as well. I'm sure our fact checker, Sean, will correct us on that or not, but I'm sure on doing a little bit of pre-reading about the film, I'm sure they had that in mind because they knew obviously he was a single man. So we've jumped back to the wedding scene.
There you go, and Andrew Lincoln, the best man, said no surprises.
Yeah. Already we're seeing a few of the characters that we saw briefly are in the audience of the... Is it an audience at a wedding?
Congregation,
Congregation?
guests.
Yeah, guests.
I should know that, having had a wedding recently.
Well, yeah.
Now, this is the reason why we had All You Need Is Love for our song. So my love of the Beatles and our love of
this film.
Yeah,
nice.
Because this was the song that we had for leaving our ceremony, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Seal was unavailable that day.
Is that Seal?
Well, always feels like. No, it's not, is it?
No, he hasn't got the scars.
Sorry, that's my fault.
No, I always thought,
yeah.
oh, that's Seal. But yeah.
But yeah, can you imagine how much organisation that would take?
Oh yeah. Firstly, how did they get the instruments in without anyone seeing it until this point? Especially a trombone.
Well, I don't know. One of our guests got in with a cat-sounding keyring just at the start of the ceremony. It went off, didn't it?
Yes.
We had to repeat the first line.
I can imagine just how impressed you were at that as well.
To be fair, I've seen the funny side. He actually gave a keyring which makes the same noise to us. So that's the one I put on Michelle's keys tonight. So Jamie, Colin Firth character, has come back to his house.
And running to his brother.
Yeah. Has you not noticed, who looks like he's very much in lounge, very comfortable gear. So I suppose, Bridget Jones been on by this point?
I think maybe the first one would have been.
Oh dear.
Oops. So we've just found out that Colin Firth's girlfriend is being less than faithful.
But how clever. So all we've had is that moment, that sentence, and we don't see either of those two again.
No.
We don't see Jamie's brother and soon, and obviously ex-girlfriend. We don't see them again.
No. They're gone, that's it, yeah.
Story told.
Yeah.
With, 2 sentences?
Yeah. This is one of my favourite scenes in the entire film. It really is.
So this, again, we're back to our caterer.
Yes. Who's now working at the wedding.
Yep. So another little connection. So Chris Marshall. Brilliant. Dead baby's finger. I'm pretty glad that this didn't happen at my wedding, I have to admit. Shame you took it then. I didn't.
Just brilliant.
Basically,
Brilliant.
Brilliant plan.
Yeah?
He's decided that it's not him.
It's the country.
It's the
that's letting him
country.
Down.
He needs to go to America.
Yeah.
Again, his mate is the guy doing the filming where Martin Freeman is.
Yeah.
So you
And
get,
I didn't get that until I think he pops up now, doesn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah. So this is right now. This is obviously slightly out of sync, isn't
yeah,
it? But why those opening scenes have been happening? We've absolutely nailed that first beer.
loved it actually.
It was really was a really nice soft start.
Yeah,
to-
wouldn't want to have it warmed up.
No, I think it starts to warm. It'd get a lot juicier.
Yeah.
I think some of those sugars would come out maybe a little bit.
But cold, very easy to drink.
Very
easy to drink. Really enjoyed that. So thanks again, Salt, and that was a collaboration with Fine
Well,
Arts.
fine. I mean, that's Salt still being a fairly new brewery. That's quite the collab they've pulled off there with the very well established Fine Ales.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, there's plenty of people raving about Fine Ales.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So again, they're doing this scene where they're checking the lighting.
Yeah.
And he's having to place his hands on her breasts and say, "Can you cup them a bit more?" I do love the facial expressions for Martin Freeman doing this. And then talking about the traffic. I think the writing's genius.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and that's one of the things that Richard Curtis is so good at as well. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Is telling a story.
Well, there's plenty of stuff he's done. I mean, we'll get into that a bit more
Yeah.
later on. But now we've switched from that to a wedding to a funeral scene.
Yeah.
It's like back
It's
and
happy
forth
to
so
sad.
quick.
Yeah.
Back and forth so quickly.
The sort of opening act isn't it? It's kind of it's establishing each of the characters.
I suppose building blocks,
but
foundation.
very quickly. And then as it goes on, acts 2 and 3 begin to slow down and let the stories tell themselves a little bit more, and it all comes together a little bit more.
Now, Sam's grandmother, who we only see briefly there, played Liz Shaw, John Pertwee's first companion in the 70s.
Mate, this isn't a Doctor Who episode.
So that's only the start.
as much as you're going to try and make it.
And
one.
the person sitting beside her was Edward Hardwick, who played Dr. Watson in all those 80s and 90s ITV serialisations,
Okay.
which is another link to Martin Freeman, isn't it? Who plays Dr. Watson.
Yes. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Cheers.
Cheers.
We've got another beer now. This is from Jefferson's Brewery.
Never heard of them.
Me either.
Across the Pond, Transatlantic Session IPA, and I think this was part of the box which we got from Real Ale.
It was, yes. Yeah.
And I think they're from that part of London anyway. Yeah, so they're from Jefferson's Brewery, Barnes, London, SW13.
It's a very interesting nose on that.
Not quite what I was expecting. Maybe it's
No.
because I don't know, is it bottled condition as well? Maybe?
Possibly. Now, it's again another great use of music in this film. So you've got the Bay City Rollers playing at the funeral, and then it switches again back to the wedding, and they're dancing to the same song.
Yeah.
No, I just thought I'd ask the bold question in case it was the right one and you needed someone to talk to about it. No one ever asked you, so
I don't think he used bottle conditioner, but it had that feel to it.
Yeah.
Not unpleasant. I mean, it's got Citra and Amarillo in there.
Ooh.
So not a bad start. Wheat, oats, malted barley, hops, yeast, waters.
I'm guessing the oats have been used to give that body.
I think so. Just
Because there's a lot of body for a session IPA on there.
it's elevated off that slightly not thin but lighter touch.
I was expecting something a lot crisper, a lot lighter.
Yeah, this feels like a cask session IPA.
Yeah, that's a great shout. Actually,
That's what it feels like to me.
It's almost giving it that cask body.
Yeah. With his Motorhead t-shirt on. Brilliant. I love the way there's so many bits of London.
Yeah, just dotted throughout.
Yeah, although I've got to the point now where I watch it too much and go, you can't go from there to there. That's not close enough to just walk through.
Yeah. Oh, now here's a question for the Hopinions on Film series. With the exception of obviously the fact that we've now done a couple of Avengers films, is this the first time an actor's played a leading role in 2 films that we've done? Because we've Alan Rickman's now appeared.
Because Die Hard, obviously,
The all-time greatest Christmas movie ever.
I think he is obviously sadly passed away, but you know, lucky enough to be the first person to be a leading man in 2 films.
Yeah.
Or right up there as a leading man, main actor. But I mean, he's done a body of work since then, hasn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Although he would already have played Snape, wouldn't he, when he did this?
No.
I'm sure that the first Harry. What was the first Harry Potter film?
2003?
What was the first Harry Potter film?
I think it was after this.
Oh yeah, it probably was actually.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was in all 8 of those.
Yeah.
I mean, he became Snape, didn't he?
Yeah, he became probably most known for that.
Yeah, and I suppose his other big turn that I can remember is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yes, he was the Sheriff of Nottingham,
Yeah.
wasn't he? Yeah.
And you know, you could see elements of that in Die Hard.
Oh, without a doubt, and there's a little bit of that in him in this as well. But that's possibly just him as an actor, isn't it? And the way, because he was classically trained, wasn't he? He was trained as a theatre actor.
Yeah. Stage.
Yeah. And we're getting the music again.
Oh, I know, phone. You could oh God, glad she's not on my train. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So we've basically just missed the whole scene in a small business where Alan Rickman, who's the owner
runs it,
has been chatting to I don't know what her name is. What's the character that she plays in this? Laura Lindley. Sarah, who was previously at the wedding.
Yes.
In the previous scene. So we're just seeing more characters.
Yeah, who presumably was a friend of someone's from the wedding.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed as though everyone was a friend of someone
at
who
some
we've
point
seen so far at that wedding.
Bill Nye plays this brilliantly.
He's brilliant.
Now, Bill Nye appeared in Doctor Who.
Of course he did.
He was in Vincent and the Doctor, playing someone who, an art curator or an art lecturer at the Louvre, and that episode was written by Richard Curtis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Richard Curtis has written an episode of Doctor Who, which I think is really quite cool.
Isn't Richard Curtis known for kind of just using the same actors over and over again?
A lot of his actors. So obviously he did Blackadder.
Yeah.
I think he'd write some sketches for not the 9 o'clock news. I think he even did some episodes for Vicar of Dibley.
Yeah.
As well, and there are people who come in and out of his stuff. But yeah, and well, Hugh Grant's been used a couple of times.
Yeah, he's been
4 weddings
at funeral.
Notting Hill.
Yeah, yeah.
And this one's
almost playing the same character in every film. It feels like
very similar type of character.
I have to say, prior to this film, I was never a great Hugh Grant fan. I didn't really like him as an actor. I didn't like that kind of posh boy image that he played. But there was something about the way he portrayed the role of what I'd say is a very humble Prime Minister in this.
Yeah.
A bit of a bumbling Prime Minister. Doesn't really know what he's doing at first.
Yeah. You feel like he thinks he's got imposter syndrome.
Yeah, and that absolutely captivated me, and it actually changed my mind about him as an actor, just through this film.
Yeah, and I think something as simple as he was dressed differently to he's usually dressed in, say, the other films.
Yeah.
He hasn't quite got that floppy hair look going on.
Yeah.
Doesn't look quite like he's just strolled out of Eton or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind his turn in the other ones, but I can understand how he wouldn't be everyone's flavour before, during, or after this film.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I've got to say, probably the one scene that I did enjoy him in, again, whether it was before or after this, was one of the Bridget Jones films where he has the street fight with Colin Firth, which is literally one of the funniest scenes. Because
Brilliant.
there was so much that was relatable.
Yeah. Yeah, there were two men who had never fought
Yeah.
anyone ever.
They were both drunk as well, weren't they?
Yeah. It was very good. So again, they've both been in films together before.
Yeah.
And Hugh Grant has played Doctor Who.
Has he?
Yeah. In 1999, they did a comic relief Doctor Who special, and he regenerated about 6 times until eventually he regenerated into Joanna Lumley.
Oh, okay.
But the lead Doctor in that was Rowan Atkinson.
Oh, you are taking me down a right Doctor Who rabbit hole here.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to let these opportunities
It's
pass.
almost like I feel like you've been waiting for this one, mate.
And there's more.
Much more.
There's more.
What are you thinking about the beer? I mean,
For me, I would actually like to. I would like to know what that was like as a cask beer pulled through on a hand pump, because it's got all the qualities, I think.
I'm still picking up a really strange. There's something on the nose that I can't quite.
Now there is a hop here which we've had before, but I don't know what. Can't remember much about it. So they've gone to dry hop Citra and Amarillo, and then they've gone to Whirlpool Olicana,
Okay.
and I don't know much about that. Then so maybe that's your unknown, the bit you can't quite place. That would make sense.
It's I know it's not, but to me it's almost. It's almost a herbal mintiness to it, like not like mint, but like garden mint.
I can see what you're getting there. Almost, maybe that's because again that cast thing you are getting that maybe slight hedgerow.
Yeah,
Nose
possibly.
to it.
Yeah. So we've now got our body doubles are now completely naked, still having a conversation about their days.
Brilliant. And Joanna Page, guess what?
She was in Doctor Who.
Yes, in the 50th anniversary special, no doubt.
Really?
She played Elizabeth I.
Okay.
So she actually had quite a big role in it.
But went on to find fame more in Gavin and Stacey.
Gavin and Stacey before Doctor Who.
Was. Oh right. Okay.
Yeah, because the 50th special was 2013.
Right. Well, we're 2 for 2 on the beers so far. I've got to say.
That was cracking.
I enjoyed that session IPA.
So it looks like Colin is still determined to go to America then.
He very much is, yes.
And his mate, the guy from the doing the filming,
Still trying to talk him out of
yeah,
it.
what he thinks he's talking bollocks basically.
See, to me, it feels like that his role in particular, his mate, is the only one that seems to be out of time with all the other little stories that are going on.
Because he's connected to, almost like he's connected to the fewest.
Yeah.
So he knows Colin, but we don't know how. We just assume they're mates. And the Martin Freeman character and the Joanna Page character he knows through work.
Yeah, and that's his only connections,
It
isn't
feels
it?
like it. Unless there's something else we haven't spotted.
I'm sure there's a connection right at the end. We'll see though. We'll see,
Yeah.
because we'll get to that. But I mean, the film is almost the definition of 6 degrees of separation, isn't it? In terms of how all of these characters know each other.
Yes. Just today, so John is the Martin Freeman character and just Judy.
Okay.
So Judy.
Yeah.
They keep on saying just Judy. And Alan Rickman's PA,
Yes.
not a fan of her.
She's seems to be trying to seduce him.
Vamp vixen
Yeah.
type of character. She's definitely the one of the very few characters in the film you can't warm to.
I think she's put there to play that role.
Oh
though.
yeah, I think she is. She there's nothing you get back.
Because there's no one else, maybe apart from the president of the US who turns up later on.
Yeah, but
But he's there to play a bit of an antagonist, isn't he?
bit of an antagonist, a caricature.
Yeah.
He is there for a very particular reason, as we find out.
But
anyway.
again, played brilliantly by Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
I mean, again, another massive Hollywood name in
It's almost
this.
like, they got him and flew him in for like a couple of days.
Yeah, and did the scene.
Yeah. I mean, would Liam Neeson have been his big day? I mean, Liam Neeson now, I mean, He's got one of the most world famous memes with
Taken.
"I will find you
Yeah.
and I will kill you," which has been used for many a thing.
Yes, indeed. Well, this would have been after his return in Star Wars, wouldn't it?
Yes, because Phantom Menace was about 99, I reckon.
Yeah. Before he became an action hero, and
Yeah.
again, an unlikely action hero in Taken,
Well,
which I
yeah.
think Taken for me is almost like a modern day equivalent of Die Hard.
Yeah, I mean, I've liked all three films. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, I didn't enjoy the two sequels.
No, I did because I accepted what they were going to be like. The first one
I thought it was a film that it never needed a sequel.
The first one was still very good. So here we are. I mean, it looks like a cold day.
It does look.
It looks like
yeah.
a crisp, cold winter's day where Liam Neeson's character, is there sitting beside his stepson, Sam,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's trying to find out what's wrong with him, other than that his mother's passed away, but
Yeah.
he knows there's something else. So this is just right on the South Bank. This is where the ITV do their morning thing. So like Phil and Fern,
Yeah,
when they're looking out, this is their bit.
Just in front of that.
Where they're looking there. I don't know if it was ITV Studios then,
Yeah.
but that's where they do it because that's one of my regular running routes as well.
You've called it though. It does look cold.
Yeah.
And they've encapsulated that.
Yeah.
And although the film has ended up becoming a Christmas movie, it was never intended to be a Christmas movie. Richard Curtis never set out for it to be a Christmas film
Okay, but it is set in December.
And there's a song in it called Christmas is All Around. So
It's set in the like 5 or 6 week run.
how do you get away from that?
Yeah.
But yeah, by all accounts, he never intended it for it to be a Christmas film.
Yeah. Sam was in Doctor Who as well.
Was he?
Yeah, in a double header.
I have a fact about Sam as well, but you go with yours first.
And he's done very well for himself actually with some of the films he's been in because he's been in the Maze Runner films as well, hasn't he?
Yes.
But yeah, he was in a double header with David Tennant and Martha.
Okay.
Freeman Agnew. So series 3 of the reboot.
Yeah.
Very good he was in it too as well.
Yeah.
He's a very good actor actually.
He is. So when he filmed this, actor's name is Thomas Brodie Sangster.
Yeah.
He was 13, which was the same age as the character that he portrayed in Game of Thrones when he was actually 23 at the time. So he's got a very young looking face about him.
Well, in the Maze Runner films, although they've made him look a bit more grizzled because of the nature of the films, he still does have that. You feel like he's still going to be asked for his age when he goes into a bar.
I wouldn't have called him 13 in this. I would have maybe said 9 or 10.
I would have gone as high as 11.
Yeah,
That's about it though. But yeah, you definitely get the feeling.
Well, isn't the end is a primary school, is it not?
It's hard to know because you do have primary,
No
middle
one's in
schools,
uniform. Yeah,
middle schools as well, and the whole thing was everything being brought together in one place, wasn't it?
yeah.
From everywhere. Anyway, I've opened the third beer.
Cheers. What have we got now?
It's a New England IPA.
Is it?
In
It's
pursuit from Three Hills Brewing, 6%, Cairo, Mosaic, Galaxy, and Citra, and it says In Pursuit number 2, which implies a number 1.
We're having a lot of Citra tonight.
We are, but hey, never mind. But the yeast is New England, so
Okay, so even though it's clear, we're probably expecting a bit of a soft finish to it, yeah?
yep. So we just talked over another 2 scenes. So
Oh yeah, we're going to have to recap a little bit.
yeah, so the Colin Firth character, so Jamie, has obviously ended up somewhere out. It looks like he's in France or somewhere, about to start writing.
Yeah, he's taken himself off to some sort of retreat to try and get over his emotional heartbreak of finding his brother in bed with his girlfriend.
Yeah, there's not many more things that would upset you.
No, there isn't, is there?
To be fair,
Yeah. And now we've jumped back to Hugh Grant and Natalie.
apart from the fact that this soft bit of the beer is a bit soft fruit, I'm not really getting the New England bit.
I am a little bit. There's a touch of that vegetalness about it
Oh, I'm not getting
that I
that.
don't really enjoy with the New England IPAs.
I've just split up with my boyfriend actually, so I'm back with my mum and dad for a while.
So the Prime Minister is chatting up the Martine McCutcheon.
Oh, I don't think he's chatting her up at this point. He's just talking because again he doesn't really know what.
Well, he doesn't know how to
seem
chat
to know
up.
how
To chat up, yes, there is that as well. So the Natalie character.
Yeah. Now this role was written for her, by all accounts. Richard Curtis saw her in EastEnders and he was like, I want her for this film. And went so far as even calling the character Martine in the script before they did auditions, but they had to change the name so she didn't realise she had already got the part before she auditioned for it. So they changed it to Natalie.
I can't think of many parts in this film which I can think of anyone else doing it now. But that could be just because I've seen it so many times.
But she's brilliant in it. She is almost... She was Tiffany, wasn't she, in EastEnders? She's almost Tiffany from EastEnders in that they've just taken her from that and put her in this and said, do a few swears.
Well, yeah, because they've taken it. Her background is nothing. I'm using speech marks special.
Yeah.
She's ended up working at number 10 Downing Street, so you know, it's someone from a different background to who you might expect.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's trying to give his stepson a pep talk now. Oh, he's in love.
Yes, that's what we discovered
Yeah.
on the Thames when we were talking.
Yeah, he's in love. I did like his line, what's worse than the utter pain of being in love?
Obviously, when we do these shows, we do kind of assume that people have already seen the film before, so it doesn't matter so much that we're talking over it entirely.
Well, I think there'll be a few people who haven't, so...
No.
And this is, I have to admit, this is a scene with Ant and Dec. They do not look like this film was recorded 16 to 17 years ago.
No, they look the same as they do now.
It's really quite annoying, isn't it?
Yeah. Apart from those collars that Dec's wearing, which are shocking. So
Yeah, I can't remember anyone wearing those,
No.
to be honest.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they actually don't look
Yeah.
a great deal different, do they? With all the stuff you see them in still.
And this is one of these a parody of, or was supposed to be one of these Saturday morning
Which
kind
they,
of pre-teen, teen.
which everyone would have known Ant and Dec for.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they first, apart from, was it Biker Grove they came out with?
Yeah. That's what.
Then it was Saturday morning TV, but we knew them from,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
which is must be what this is.
Yeah. Brilliant. So he's just drawn on the picture of Blue, who were big at the time. I'm presuming.
He's up against them for the Christmas number one.
Blue must have.
They must have endorsed it.
Yeah.
Which
is quite nice. Which is quite good.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because what he's written in speech marks ain't great, is it?
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Don't buy drugs, kids. Become famous. You can have them for free."
Yeah. And that gives us the caption on the screen telling us it's 3 weeks until Christmas.
5, this one.
Was this 5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But yeah, so 5 weeks to Christmas. How's it not a Christmas film?
It is a Christmas film.
I think that's just Richard Curtis trying not to have a set.
Yeah, I mean, we're now in a gallery of nude images of people and all they're wearing is Christmas hats.
Yes. But the only thing covering any modesty is the Christmas hats.
Yeah, so
That's
how...
it.
You wouldn't have made this film and then put it out in the middle of summer, would you?
No. So yeah, so Andrew Lincoln's character hasn't. There's not much love between him and his mate's missus, is there?
No.
He seems to be almost constantly avoiding her.
Yeah.
So Mark, that's his name.
Thanks for the gorgeous send-off.
So, what can I do for you?
It's really well done. This
Because-
we're not going to spoil it.
Yeah,
because you don't know why.
You don't know why. Is
Yeah.
it that he's lost his mate to his girlfriend, to his love of his
Or
life?
has just never quite taken to her.
Yeah, because that happens, doesn't it? You can't get on with everyone.
No. So what had she been in before this? So Bend It Like Beckham, I remember, was one of the first things I saw Keira Knightley in.
I think this was probably
Because Pirates came after this, didn't
her
it?
next role after that, wasn't it? Wasn't this kind of a breakout film a little
Yeah,
bit?
I think she'd been in some period stuff, Sense and Sensibility, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
She's got that kind of look about her
Yeah.
that she pulls off a period drama.
Yes, she does it. She does do those very well, the ones I've
Yeah.
seen. And then obviously Pirates films, and she's done massive body of work again since then as well.
Yeah, absolutely huge. And well, just the Pirates films alone would have.
Yeah, I mean, the first Pirates film I loved.
Yeah, I mean,
love the
the,
first
the,
Pirates
the other four were possibly unnecessary.
Massive. Talking about Taken, Pirates, diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Diminishing returns.
Bearing in mind that the first film was essentially based on a ride at one of the Disney parks.
Yes. Had to turn a ride into a film was quite amazing. Usually it's the other way round.
Yeah, absolutely.
But wasn't Bill Nye was in the second Pirates, wasn't he? Dead Man's Chest.
He's been in a couple of them as the character
Yeah,
that he portrays.
David Jones.
Yeah.
David Jones, wasn't he? Looks like quite a nice retreat though.
It does look like a lovely retreat, doesn't it?
Then he's got
Bonjour, monsieur Vedette. Welcome back.
Well, we've both gone quiet here because I think there's a sense that there's an important meeting coming up.
Yeah, but no, I like that little bit of dialogue.
Yeah.
But to be fair to him, to be fair to Jamie, at least he's trying.
Yeah,
Which is more
he's using more French than I can.
He's using different words than I would.
Yeah.
So credit where credit's due, because it would appear neither of them speak each other's language.
No.
So this is what, his housekeeper?
I
Maid?
think so. Yeah, looking after the house and things wise there.
But I did understand his Portuguese when he said Eusebio. I got that. I was good with that bit. I can talk football, maybe, or at least football names. But yeah, that looks nice. But again, it feels like they're still doing this in autumn or spring.
Yeah, because it's beautiful sun.
Yeah, but not just a beautiful. It feels like that sort of light, the crisp coldness kind of thing. And they are all. No one's wearing t-shirts.
No. So makes you wonder if they were filming it in the winter or in the summer. They were saying, well, you've got to dress as though it's the winter.
Yeah, it doesn't look hot enough. Maybe it was a spring.
Yeah,
because there's got to be enough time to film it, edit it.
Well, all those scenes at the retreat, there's a lot of greenery around.
Yeah.
Which maybe wouldn't be there in the winter.
Yeah, so maybe springtime then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it came out in 2003, this could easily have been filmed between 2002 and 2003, I suppose.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people to pull together.
Isn't it?
It's a big cast.
It makes you wonder whether they all kind of filmed their scenes in isolation and then it was all...
I think for some of them you probably could do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, that means having camera crews in different places as well.
Because there are only a few characters. So there's Hugh Grant's character, there's Emma Thompson's character, Liam Neeson, are probably the three big ones that are
pretty
kind
constant.
of threaded throughout most
Big
of the
connections.
stories. Yeah.
So this is the President of the States, Billy Bob Thornton, has turned up to meet Hugh Grant. I can't think of two, well, let alone different people, different actors.
Polar opposites in terms of their acting styles and yeah.
But
I can't say I've really seen a lot with Billy Bob Thornton in it.
I mean, Armageddon, obvious one.
Oh yeah, of course.
Armageddon was the big one, but I can remember. Did he date Angelina Jolie?
He did.
Didn't they like have a little round their neck like a file of each other's blood or something? Or something
Yes,
weird?
yeah, that was them. Yeah.
So amazing the things that stick in your head.
You pulled that out of nowhere, yeah.
That one wasn't even written down. This I quite like. This little bit of a back and forth between the US delegation and the British delegation, and Hugh Grant is just watching.
Yeah, from the background, just taking it all in.
Yeah, seeing what happens next. Yeah, I mean, I said it's just a cast of. I mean, actually, if you look on IMDb, it goes about. If you look at it, it just carries on.
It's the list of actors in this.
Yeah, I mean, and most of them I knew anyway. I did have a quick look, and it's like, wow, and it's like it just goes on, and you see some names, you think, what, they were in there as well, and then I had to think about it. That's where you were.
That either they were even known before they came into this, or weren't known and then went on to do so much more as a result. I'm not saying as a result of this.
Well, yeah, because we haven't mentioned Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson had done loads of stuff.
Oh,
yeah, she's done loads of period stuff.
Still done loads since.
She's in that new. She's had about 2 or 3 films of hers out around now. That Men in Black International has come out during the summer. I think there was another couple of films which I saw advertised. She was in the last Men in Black 3 as well. Mm. So, and I think the one I remember from when I was younger was The Tall Guy with Jeff Goldblum.
I can't remember seeing that, if I'm honest.
No, there's an awkward moment.
Yeah, so Hugh Grant walked back into the room and the president was kind of whispering in Natalie's ear.
Well, he was definitely leaning in, to coin a phrase. And I suppose the thing which caught his eye is that she wasn't leaning out.
Yeah.
So, this is a
massive scene in the film, this is, isn't it?
This is a brilliant scene.
Yeah.
So this is one of those press conferences where they say all the right things.
Yeah. Or they're told what they've got their script and they're supposed to stick to it.
Yeah.
Prime Minister? I love that word relationship. It covers all manner of sins, doesn't it? I feel
His advisors are like, what's he saying?
Yeah. He's definitely not paying attention to the script, the Prime Minister, is he?
No.
I do like this.
Yep.
David Beckham getting a name check.
Harry Potter getting a name check, which might lend itself to what you were saying, that maybe the Harry Potter films had already started before
Or maybe
this.
at least one of them had.
Yeah. Certainly it had become a phenomenon in the books.
But I suppose, the books still had anyway, hadn't
Yeah.
they? But, David Beckham at the height of his powers as well.
Absolutely gets a mention.
His left foot and his right foot.
Yeah.
You know what? You know when I watch this, every time I watch it, I'm just wondering, that could ever happen for real one day.
You'd love to see it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And again, we say this every time we do opinions on films. The score is so important to that scene. It starts off slowly in the background, and it builds as he's making his statement, and it builds this great crescendo at the finish, as everybody's up and applauding as the music finishes. And I don't think you can underestimate the importance of a score in a film.
Oh, definitely not. And this one, it works really well. It's really eclectic mix of music, actually.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Emma Thompson's character, Karen, is related. Brother and sister to the Prime Minister.
Yeah, which, have we got that yet? Did we get that before
Just now.
this point?
No, to this point, no, because there'd been nothing between to show them. So, right. So now she's doing Christmas presents. How's this not a Christmas film?
Yeah,
Richard Curtis, come on.
I think he was, like you say, he was trying to play it there, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's definitely, isn't it? But while they're doing a bit of a wrapping presents of dodgy-looking dolls, what do you think of the beer?
It's all right, actually. It's getting better as I drink a little bit more of it. I think it might have been that bit of a shift between going from something quite clear and crisp to going to something a little bit more soft and fruity.
I'm actually really enjoying it. Maybe I'm enjoying it maybe a tad more than you as well.
Yeah. I do think we need to just appreciate what we're about to see, though, at this moment, which obviously, you know, on a podcast, visuals don't work, but if you've seen this film, you know what we're talking about because you would have heard the music already.
Yeah. Love this. I actually don't think this scene goes on long enough.
No, I don't. I think it's cut far too short.
Yeah.
Apparently he didn't want to do it, though. He was massively against doing the dancing.
Really?
He was really grumpy about it. He was like, do I really have to do this? And I was like, yeah. I mean, he doesn't look like it, but he just didn't want to do it.
Good actor then.
Yeah. But it is. I do remember watching this in the cinema and literally crying with laughter.
Yeah.
But it's cut far too short.
Yeah, that still had another 30 seconds at least.
Easily, yeah. But maybe, you know...
Maybe they had to.
The best comedy is all about timing, isn't it?
Yeah, and maybe I wouldn't have remembered it as much.
Take it another 30 seconds and you would have got bored with it, wouldn't you?
Maybe you were right about the 3 weeks. That says 2 weeks to Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So it may have been me misreading that on the screen.
I love this when they start introducing the subtitles and they're having two different conversations.
Yeah. You're getting chubbier every day. Yeah. Whereas he thinks he's not.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And he's using a typewriter as well. So he must be a book writer, I presume, then.
Yeah, I think so. That's why he comes here to kind of write his books, doesn't he?
Get away. Now already, so when we got first introduced to Aurelia, she looked quite, not dowdy, but very sad. But now she seems a lot happier, doesn't she?
Yeah,
already.
she seems to have found...
Lightened up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so is he.
Oops. Until that moment.
Jamie had lightened up until... Oh, that was it. He had his teacup.
Yeah.
As a paperweight.
And all the paper's blown away.
Literally.
All into the lake, yeah.
Yes. Have all blown away.
And now she's literally taking all of her clothes off to dive into the lake. Well, not all of her clothes.
No.
She's down to her underwear.
And she's about to jump in.
Yeah. To save his...
Masterpiece.
Which we'll find out in a second is maybe not the masterpiece.
But he's definitely looking at her in a slightly different way now.
Yeah.
Having taken her clothes off and dived in.
Yeah, oh, now he's going in as well, possibly.
I love the subtitle.
She said it's
bit.
cold. Yeah. And he fell in.
Yep.
She almost a perfect dive from her into the lake.
Not from him.
Yeah.
This stuff better be good. Brilliant. Really is very good.
So she's saying, try not to disturb the eels.
Yeah.
Okay, so while they're picking up the last pieces of his masterpiece, final thoughts of the In Pursuit from Three Hills Brewing, which was again part of the box that we were sent by Real Ale, which obviously we're grateful for.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed it straight away. I'd probably have more of a love for New England IPAs if they were a bit more like this.
Are you
if I'm being
coming
honest.
round to them a little bit?
Well, I started turning once I went to the States last year, didn't I?
And kind of sampled them done properly.
How I felt they would be.
Yeah.
I said cooked. Again, I've used the phrase before. I'm using it again. This beer felt like a complete beer. Mm-hmm. It's been released, ready to be drunk. But I think for me, it's avoiding a lot of those tropes that I don't like.
It is for me as well. So there's none of the sugary finish.
Yeah.
There's none of the uncooked feel. It's not overly juicy. It just works. It actually works really well.
Yeah, I think it works really well. And I think again, it definitely doesn't feel like 6% beer.
Really?
Doesn't feel 6% to me. I would say that is proper sessionable tastes.
I think it's worked after the session IPA. Works really well.
Definitely. Now, so we've had a very juicy tropical fruited pale. We've had the session IPA, and we've had a New England IPA. So these are all fairly modern beer styles, would we say?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, next up.
Well, yeah.
Not so well. A modern take on an old favourite.
I think that's a great way of describing it. So we're about to continue the love for Citra this evening.
Which appears to be a bit of theme at the moment.
Yeah, as we dive into Duvel, the triple hop Citra edition, which weighs in
9.5%.
just the 9.5%.
Which is 1% more than the very sensible 8.5%.
Brilliant.
So Duvel's usually 8.5%, but for the triple hop series that they've done, and now this is a permanent of their.
Yeah, it's available in most supermarkets these days, but we were sent these, weren't we?
Yes, yeah, because we went to that thing earlier in the year as well, didn't we? The Duvel tasting, which Nat Watson was doing when she was still working for Duvel. But I mean, I've always been a massive fan of Duvel.
I've always enjoyed it. It's I'm not gonna beat around the bush on this. It's a beer that's put me on my arse more than once.
Oh, I had it once when I did a night of Duvel when I was in Amsterdam early on with ING. How I got into the conference the next day. God only knows.
Once remember being away with a friend, and we were on essentially what was like a private holiday park, but had a pub on site. And I happened to the owner of the pub used to be the owner of the pub of the village that I used to live in. He recognised me. We got chatting. We ended up on a lock-in drinking Duvel until 3 o'clock in the morning. The friend I was with wasn't a massive beer drinker, but was trying to save face, keeping up with the other drinkers. He crawled back to our accommodation and wasn't seen until about 4 o'clock the following day.
I thought you could say 4 o'clock on Saturday.
No, 4 o'clock the following day. I was bad, but he was in a right state.
Oh, it puts you on. It does put you on your eye
It's
because
so drinkable.
Duvel 8.5%. I'm not sure there's that many more drinkable 8.5% beers.
I don't think it tastes 8.5%.
No, no.
And I don't think this tastes 9.5%.
No. What's your preference? The Citra? Bearing in mind I love a Citra or the original Duvel.
I am going to say the original Duvel.
Snap.
I do enjoy the Citra.
Yeah.
It's a very, like you said, like you in your intro,
Cheers.
it's a very modern take on the traditional style.
Oh, yeah. But if you only ever made one beer and it was Duvel, you wouldn't need to. I'm not sure you need to do anything else.
You wouldn't. See, for me, the Citra, while it's fantastic in this beer, it removes all the characteristics of the original.
Yeah.
So the original it has those Belgian-y characteristics, but it's not overly Belgian-y, which is probably why I can enjoy it.
This probably almost ramps up the Belgianness, bizarrely.
I don't think it does. I think it removes it
Oh, do
completely.
you think so? I still think it's got Belgian notes, definitely. But I mean, I really enjoyed it. But I prefer again. If I had a choice, I would always go for the original.
Yeah, me too.
Now, so we have skipped a little bit.
Yeah,
Everyone-
because we've been talking beer for a change.
Yeah. So this is the Keira Knightley character and the best man, Andrew Lincoln, and she wanted to get some video footage of her, and it turns out the only video footage he has taken is all of her.
Yeah. So possibly suggesting
Maybe
why he's off with her.
Yes, there is a lot of her. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, she looks beautiful, and you'd expect a lot of bride on a video,
Yeah.
or a DVD, or any kind of recording, but it's just her.
Yeah. Doesn't he? I'm sure he says in a minute or something. It's a self-defense thing that
At the very end,
he's off with her
yeah,
because
she challenges him.
it's
and
the
then he
only way
goes,
you can deal with it.
Yeah,
Because he doesn't want to ruin his relationship with his best friend.
yeah. No, yeah, it's very well done.
Yeah, it is.
Because up until that point, I guess you would have gone down the line of, well, he just doesn't like her.
Yeah, he's taken his friend from him.
Yeah,
Yeah, a bit of jealousy that way round.
but no, it's quite obvious that he likes her a lot.
Yeah, a little bit too much possibly.
Definitely.
Now, apparently, when she first comes in and she starts looking through the videos, one of the books on the shelf is Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window, which is a film about a book about voyeurism.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's in nod to the whole
Oh,
thing that's going on
very
here.
clever.
Yeah.
You always talk to Peter.
Very clever.
You don't like me.
It's useful.
Uh,
Don't show it around too much. Needs a bit of editing.
Well, edit other people into it, you mean?
Yeah.
Lunch. Early lunch. You can just show yourself.
Basically, he's just leaving now.
Yeah, because it's all got a bit uncomfortable.
Hashtag awkward.
Yeah,
Self-preservation.
self-preservation. Yeah.
And then again, the tune.
Yeah, the music in this is perfect.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, it's absolutely every song is perfect.
Yeah. So again, they don't need to have any dialogue because the song's doing stuff.
Yeah,
I think this
and
is,
he's doing a great job of playing conflicted.
yeah.
There. And then there's a bit of a breakdown in public,
Yeah, brilliant. I do like
scaring a
that.
few people.
I do like that bit.
Yeah.
Scaring some Christmas shoppers.
Yeah, and again, there's Christmas trees all around. How can it not be a Christmas film?
Exactly.
It's clearly a Christmas film.
See, I'm not convinced you can walk through to the front of the Octo Tower that route round.
Well, I thought that as well. I mean, I don't know London as well as you do, but
Not convinced.
no,
And we're back at number 10.
we are.
It still flits through, actually. You know,
Yeah.
you were saying it slows down. It hasn't done too much
But
of
we're
it.
getting to know the characters
Yeah.
more.
Thing for the hero of the hour.
Don't ask me why, and for heaven's sake, don't read stuff into this. It's just a weird personality thing. But, you know Natalie works here?
Chubby girl.
Natalie, the chubby girl.
Pretty sizable ass there is. Huge thighs.
Brilliant.
Just doesn't know what to do with that,
Yeah.
does he?
Lovely girl, but I wonder if you could, redistribute her.
It's done.
Interesting turn of phrase.
Yes.
Redistribute her.
Yeah, no, if he was some evil megalomaniac, that means she's going to be dead.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. He's cut up,
Redistribute her.
sent to various parts of the universe. Yeah,
It's almost like the dusting.
yeah. Indeed.
Before the dusting
Yeah.
became a thing.
How we can make any film relevant to a Marvel audience.
Well, we've name checked Marvel a couple of times
Yeah,
with people
true.
in it.
I don't know why we don't just do a series. We should just do the entire Marvel series.
Oh, I don't know if everyone's ready for that. Maybe that should be another side project. There's enough of them. These bits are really well done. I love the bits between Liam Neeson and Sam.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. And apologies, I'm just interchanging actors and character names.
Yeah, we don't know all the character names.
No, I can't remember them all.
We need Kate. We need Leo. And we need them now. Come on.
So his answer to this is to watch Titanic.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're not doing that one.
No, nobody wants to hear us talking about Titanic for 3 hours, that's for sure.
Because that's not a short film either.
No, it's 3 hours, isn't it? Yeah. It's one of the of kind of the modern era.
Long films.
One of the longest films of recent history, isn't it?
But yeah. So that's their answer.
Yep.
Well, they've just stopped it 3 hours. It was on a certain point of the film.
Yeah.
Presumably watching video. This are nice little moments.
Yeah.
His logic's sound.
Yeah. Even for a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Same as Mum.
Just a nice little
Yeah.
sort of soft moment.
Some nice music again.
Yeah.
The score again at this point.
And this is where David may learn to regret his decision.
Yes.
That it's not Natalie bringing his biscuits and tea in.
Well, he doesn't get the nice biscuits, does he?
No.
You know, he gets just some standard biscuits.
Yeah, he probably just gets digestives now.
He's the Prime
with
Minister,
tea.
for God's sake.
He should have whatever biscuits he wants.
Yeah.
There's got to be some perk.
Yeah.
The rest of the time you're just getting a whole load of shit, aren't you?
Yeah.
Got to at least have the right biscuits. I love that. So these are the days when you would have actually filled up your car with a whole load of wine coming
which
back
he
from France.
has done.
Yeah.
And a couple of... What are they called?
Garlic.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole strings of them.
Yeah, strings of garlic? Are they on a...
Well, let's say strings of garlic for
Okay,
now
let's go with that.
Because we can picture that.
Yeah, again, I'm sure
Just to identify if you
someone
haven't
would
picked
tell
up.
us they're called something.
Yeah, if you haven't picked up, he's in France.
Yeah.
He's definitely in France. So they're saying goodbye,
They are, yeah.
Jamie and Aurelia.
And he's only known her for a few weeks, but they seem to have built quite a relationship, don't they?
There's a rapport. I mean,
Yeah.
they've got that awkward moment,
Yeah.
even more so because they're speaking a different language.
Yeah. So she says she's going to miss him.
Yeah.
Slow typing, bad driving.
You get the feeling that hasn't happened to Jamie before.
No.
You get the feeling it's one of these boats that when he has found what he thinks is love, he feels like he's lucky.
Yeah.
As in, you know, like with because the woman who played his girlfriend, but we saw very briefly, was, you know, very attractive.
Yeah, yeah.
Say sexy woman. He probably felt like he was batting above his average,
Yeah.
rightly or wrongly. And this is someone letting him know
Yeah.
that actually they quite like him just for being him.
And he's just kind of watched her walk off into the distance.
Yeah.
So
Because he said he's going to, you know, presumably he's going home to family
Yeah.
for Christmas.
and
Because it's a Christmas film.
and that's possibly the end of that story.
Well, it is for now.
Yeah. Well,
Whoops.
apart from that person that he nearly drove into.
Yeah. I can't think of anything worse than having an accident when you're abroad as well.
No.
Having to get that sorted out.
Yeah. And we're back into again another interlude of Billy Mack,
Yep.
who's now taking off the classic Robert Palmer video.
Yeah. If anyone's not sure what video we're talking about, just type in Robert Palmer video.
to Google
It'll
and you'll
give you
find it. Yeah.
the idea. Although this appears to be interesting Sam quite a lot. He looks like, he's very dark eyes, isn't he?
Yeah.
Very piercing.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord. Tell me.
Well, girls love musicians, don't they? Even the really weird ones get girlfriends.
That's right. Meatloaf. Definitely get laid at least once for God's sake. Ringo Starr married a Bond girl.
Go on.
Ringo Starr married a Bond girl.
Which
Yes, the
Bond
one-
girl did he marry?
Barbara Beck from The Spy Who Loved Me.
There's a chance that she might actually fall in love with me. What do you think?
I think it's brilliant.
It is a brilliant plan.
It is, yeah.
It is a brilliant plan.
The one obvious tiny little baby, little hiccup.
I don't play musical instrument.
Yes, sir.
A tiny, insignificant detail.
So now he's decided he's going to play the drums.
Yep.
I definitely couldn't learn a musical instrument in about 3 days.
No, I couldn't. Music again at this point. So this is Sugar Babes, Too Lost in You. Now,
Blimey.
for the UK version of this film, this was the big breakout song. In the US, this scene was soundtracked by Kelly Clarkson's The Trouble with Love Is.
Which would have been one
Which
of
would
her
have been
the
the big breakout song in the US.
Ah.
So, which is the first instance that certainly I've come across of a film using different soundtracks for different national audiences
We should try and watch the US version at some point.
to see if it's any.
Feels any different.
Yeah,
Whether it just throws me or whether it just, because they get it right, you don't really notice it so much.
yeah. But it's really strange because again, this is a fairly important scene. What we're going through. So, yeah, the song that soundtracks this moment is bound to be one that's remembered.
Yeah. Now again, I mean, the actress playing his secretary is doing a very good job here
Yes,
because,
of making you hate her.
yes,
yeah. Because she's actually flirting with him in front of his wife.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, properly flirting. I mean, and she, you know, she's dressed in not a little black dress, but a little red dress
Well,
for
she's
Christmas.
dressed as a devil,
Yes,
but it's at a Christmas party.
with the horns.
Yeah,
David, the Prime Minister, is wandering around looking a bit unhappy.
moping around inside number 10,
Yeah.
which actually isn't number 10.
Where did they film it?
I imagine in the studio they did request access to number 10, but they were told no, nobody gets to film inside number 10.
That's probably appropriate.
Yeah,
There's probably lots of reasons for that. Lots of good reasons. Security for one.
yeah.
And so Billy Mack has now been interviewed by the legend that is Michael Parkinson.
Yes, indeed.
So they even got Michael Parkinson involved in the film.
Yeah.
Playing Michael Parkinson. Brilliant.
He's kind of stripping off in
Yeah.
front of Michael Parkinson.
And to be fair, this does look like a works Christmas party.
It does, yeah.
It does. They've made it look like one.
Yeah. You got some people dancing, some people are just hanging around the edges,
Yeah.
drinking.
Okay, so Laura Linney's character, Sarah, has got the chance to have a dance with Carl. And I think we bypassed this earlier.
We've bypassed a lot of this, yeah.
Everyone knows that she's been in love with Carl within about 30 minutes of first meeting
Even
her.
her boss, yeah.
First meeting him. And it appears he doesn't mind her.
No. And again, Laura Linney was one of these casting things that Richard Curtis had where he he asked for, he wanted an actress that looked like Laura Linney and was a bit like Laura Linney and couldn't find anyone, so in the end he just went for Laura Linney.
Because she was actually filming Mystic River when this was being done. So she was
Yeah.
actually flying back to Boston during the filming of this. So she was doing a bit of a transatlantic gig for this.
Yeah, but when
As
you're
well.
trying to pull, again, it's what we said earlier, when you're trying to pull together so many actors, so many different stories into what ends up being one story, that must have been a challenge and a
Yeah,
half.
because there must have been an overall casting director.
Yeah,
And that's a lot of moving parts, isn't it? Because that's getting people's diaries synced. Because most of these, well, let's say what we'd say maybe classed as the top tier of the actors and actresses, would have been in demand.
oh, absolutely. In 2003, Hugh Grant would have been at the height of the demand
Yeah.
for him as an actor.
So, you know, to actually make sure everyone's available when they need to be available,
Yeah,
and hoping then that your schedule doesn't get held back for any reason. Because, you know, the film they're filming somewhere else.
can you imagine the spreadsheet they would have had to have managed that?
Wow, I mean, that's a spreadsheet. That is a spreadsheet and a half, isn't it? So, is Carl coming in for a coffee?
I think he is. And the other thing that we've skipped over in relation to this relationship and scene and what's about to happen is that her phone keeps going off.
Yeah, but we
don't know why.
no, but it does. Well, I've already referenced the phone.
Yeah.
So let's leave it there for a minute. I love her reaction to this bit.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, this where she
Yeah.
now just goes onto the stairs and
She just says, "Can I have a moment?"
yeah.
She goes behind the wall. It's basically dancing with joy for 5
Everything
seconds.
she's wanted.
It's
since
just turned up.
She started working in this place.
Yeah.
Upstairs in about 10 seconds.
Very unusual design flat, this.
I thought that it's upstairs, but then it's completely open plan.
Yeah.
It's like the upstairs is almost like a. You feel like it's a bit of a loft conversion,
Yeah.
but they took the walls out.
Yeah, it's odd. Part of me likes it, part of me doesn't.
It's very strange.
Because if you had anyone else staying over, there's nothing happening up there.
I think that's a single bed. I don't think there's a second bedroom in that place at all.
Yeah, but you may have a sofa or something.
Yeah, yeah,
But she's managed to hide everything she wanted to hide.
yeah.
Because she wasn't expecting this. Because I haven't really seen much of Carl, have we?
No,
It turns out he's a bit of a hunk.
we've seen him in the office.
Yeah.
Again, just the music at this point. I absolutely love this song, and it's just perfect for this scene.
Yeah, it's just slowly playing away in the background, isn't it?
And yeah, as you say, he's taken his shirt off, and he's chiseled.
He's
it's
chiseled.
probably fair to say, isn't it? Yeah.
And whether she knew this before or not, but she's probably thinking, blimey.
Yeah, I've lucked out here.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, he is a handsome dude.
Oh,
Don't know what nationality he is. He looks sort of Spanish, Latin American type.
I think he might have been Spanish actually.
But again, it's this really nice moment where it looks like what she's been dreaming of,
Yeah,
she's about to get, and
there it is.
there's the phone. Now, I'd be thinking the same as him right now. Why are you answering the phone?
Yeah, I would.
Hi, hello, darling.
Especially like that as
Yeah.
well.
Hello, darling. Right. What, is that your husband?
Yeah.
Your husband's phoned. He's on his way.
It's going to be possible to get the Pope on the phone tonight.
And it's that line where you kind of think, oh, something's
Not quite right.
there,
Yeah.
is it? Yeah.
Well, I'm sure John Bon Jovi
But-
is as well, and I'll definitely look into it.
John Bon Jovi. Brilliant.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye-bye.
It's a bit awkward now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that moment,
It's gone.
you know,
It's gone.
there was
Yeah.
there was a passionate 30 seconds where it was obvious where it was going to lead to. It's what she's dreamt about, and then she's had the phone call.
Fine, it is what it is. Sort of there being no parents now and us being over here, it's my job to keep an eye on him. I mean, not my job. Obviously, I'm glad to do it.
So she's kind of explaining what the phone calls were about.
So it's her brother.
Yeah, at this point.
Interruptions and complications.
The beer.
Well-
We've been quietly just sat here, supping away on the 9.5%
I'm not sure.
Duvel.
I'm not sure supping.
Well, no, drinking.
We're just drinking it.
It's just so drinkable,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I mean, we did go. I mean, when they started doing these triple hot ones, they started to do that every year, and then they wanted to bring one of them in as a regular, didn't they?
Yeah, so
And we went along to like
about
one of the tastings,
three
probably about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably pre me joining the show. And I know that we both voted for the Citra as
Yeah.
our favourite out of.
So they brought back the 6 previous single hop versions
Yeah.
that they did. They did it on a couple of events. It was available to buy as a 6-pack, and they encouraged people to vote on what their
Yeah.
favourite hop was. And then they said whichever one wins will come back as a permanent triple hop
Yeah.
beer, which is obviously what this is. I think they're still. Do they still do an annual release of a triple hop as well, or have
Not
they,
sure.
have they stopped it now?
No, I have to admit, I don't know.
I think if they did, we probably would have got to try it when we went to that
Oh.
Duvel tasting.
Yeah, that's true because I think we tried the Citra again, didn't we?
We did. Yeah.
That night.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no,
But again, it's for what it is. It's incredibly drinkable, and as I say, it's available in most supermarkets these days. Price point is about $2.50 a bottle, which is incredible value.
Yeah, and at
Excuse
Christmas time
me.
you can usually get like the 2 bottles and a glass.
Which is what you want to pick up, yeah.
And it always looks good because the Duvel glass is a beautiful looking glass.
It is, which is what we're enjoying the beers
Yes,
from this
'cause
evening.
I have
thanks
to have
to
two
your
of them.
extensive glass cabinet that you seem to have.
Yeah, Michelle's less fussed about us using loads of glasses while recording, but I had to use it. And also Duvel in a small glass really does prop up too much anyway.
No, you've got to have it in the actual glass.
Yes, so
Yeah.
it just happens to have worked out rather well.
Yeah.
So she's down in the hospital with her brother.
But
Then
between that, while I've been chatting, we've seen a scene between Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman talking about the staff party, why they're getting undressed and getting into bed.
And she's basically
and
giving him a veiled
she knows.
warning / advice.
Yeah. And at the same time, we've seen his secretary also getting undressed and getting into bed. So
Yeah.
it's kind of comparing the two.
Yeah. No, we never get. I don't think we ever actually find out what's
what's wrong with
yeah
her
what's
brother.
up with him.
No, he's obviously got some issues.
Yes, because he's in the cared accommodation.
Yeah, yeah. And she's clearly taken it upon herself to look after him.
Yeah, to be there
to be his
whenever
carer.
to be there whenever needed.
Yeah, but I think in terms of this relationship with her brother and her relationship with her colleagues, potentially the now gone Carl, is that she never tells anybody. She's never told anybody that's the role she's taken.
She's never really shared it.
No, she's kept it to herself.
Yeah. So she hasn't been able to really form those friendship bonds.
Yeah,
Potentially because she's always ready to help her brother.
yeah.
Right, back at 3. Christmas shopping, never really
So day after the Christmas party.
Yeah. Everyone looks fine.
Yeah, which is strange.
Yeah,
The morning after the company Christmas party.
exactly.
Nobody's hanging.
Yeah,
There's not a bacon roll in sight.
it's not true, is it?
No,
So
it's not true. There was enough alcohol drunk at the Christmas party.
definitely not. But most people a lot of people would have gone on elsewhere.
Yes, yeah.
So unless the people who went on elsewhere just haven't turned up.
Yeah, because we're only seeing the two of them in the office again.
Yeah. Don't do it. It's a bit one right. Don't. Oh.
He's done it.
I thought I made it clear last night. When it comes to me, you can have everything.
So, what do you need? Something along the stationary line?
So his motivation flattered by the young woman's attention.
Possibly. Something different.
Because she's deliberately made a play.
Yeah.
But it's unclear to me whether she would actually. I'm not trying to be
Gone through with it.
gone through with her side.
Yeah.
Because the question there is, well, what will you give me? And she said, well, I thought I made it clear that where I'm concerned, you can have anything.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that she didn't just want to see if she could get something.
Yeah.
Almost like a game. I can do this. Any man I can turn from whatever they're interested in, kind of thing.
I think we need to appreciate that one of the greatest scenes in the film is about to happen at this point. So he's now met his wife and they've gone shopping, and he's obviously got this thing in the back of his mind that he's got to get something for his secretary. So he's having a look round to see what there is.
So he's gone to the jewellery.
Yes.
Looking for anything in particular?
Oh, Mr. Rowan Atkinson,
Has made an appearance.
Blackadder.
Yes.
Now, Blackadder is probably my all-time favourite comedy series.
How are you going to take us off down this path at this point?
Gift wrapped.
And so he's trying to do this quickly, isn't he? Because
Yeah.
he doesn't want his wife to see.
Obviously, because he's got a finite amount of time,
Yeah.
and you're thinking necklace, box, bag, pay.
Yeah, job done.
However, Rowan Atkinson
Has other ideas.
definitely has different ideas. That looks quite nice now.
That does, doesn't it? At that point, I'd be happy to take that.
Yeah, because there's no way I'm doing better than that at home.
It's a box in a gold bow.
Yeah.
But this isn't a bags. This is so much more than a bag.
This is so much more than a bag. But look, Rowan Atkinson, because he only appears one more time.
Yeah.
But you remember both of his.
Oh, absolutely. This is like I say, it's almost everything else that's going on in this film. That there are a couple of what you'd call pivotal scenes. There's the Hugh Grant dancing.
Yeah.
There's this scene.
But this scene does it on two different levels. One, you've got the out and out comedy of it, and the fact that he's doing, Alan Rickman is doing something he shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, and you almost find yourself in the role of Alan Rickman, where you're like you're feeling his panic.
Yeah.
In terms of, can you just get on with it?
Yeah.
It's a silent sticks. I really can't. No, you won't regret it. What about? Almost finished. Almost finished. I was going to put it in yogurt, cover it with chocolate buttons. And pop it in the Christmas box. But I don't want a Christmas box. You said you wanted a gift wrap. I did. This is the final flourish. Can I just pay?
So now he wants to put it into a.
God, it's a sprig of holly. No bloody holly. But sir, leave it, just leave it.
I'm sure. I've got a feeling that Holly reference has got something to do with Die Hard.
My expectations are more
That was
13 years of
his wife's name in Die Hard.
Yeah.
Holly Gennaro.
Oh, it can't be a coincidence then.
That-
Never seen that before.
That has got to be
Yeah.
a reference, hasn't it?
No Holly.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But yeah, he basically wanted to put it into like an equivalent of a shoebox.
With some holly.
Yeah.
Yeah. After all that packing.
And the Chris Marshall character is still going to the States.
He's got his rucksack.
He's rented out his place.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So this is the body doubles practicing one of their scenes, and he's saying sorry to be forward.
Yeah.
No, that would be lovely.
That shot's brilliant.
You've got to watch this to be able to appreciate it. You really have. I don't think any words that we've got aren't going to describe what you've just seen.
Ringo rules on the outside where he's practicing his drumming.
Yeah.
Oh dear. He went back for it.
Oh, you got it without the gift wrapping.
Yeah, got someone else.
Yeah.
And the missus knows he's bought it.
Yeah.
So, naturally for her, assumes.
It's for her.
Yeah.
Obviously. And now we're in a language school. Why would we be in a language school at this
Dunno.
point?
I always wondered how those language schools worked.
Yeah. Are they all learning the same language? Or are they all learning different languages? Oh, it's Jamie learning what one can only assume is Portuguese.
That's what I'm gonna assume.
Yep.
He's obviously very keen on learning it as he does
Very,
it,
yeah.
talking to himself, walking down the escalator.
Yeah.
Too much sex. You are on the road to disaster. No, I'm on Shag Highway, heading west.
Shag Highway.
Farewell, failure. America, what out? Here comes Colin Frizzle. And he's got a big knob.
Brilliant. And then he ends up in Milwaukee.
Yeah, of all places.
Somewhere I would never have chosen.
No. And it's snowing.
Yeah.
Just an average American bar.
And there we go. First thing we see, Bud Light.
Yes.
Yes.
And there's Budweiser on tap.
Coming up.
Oh my god.
This really plays on that stereotype, doesn't it?
British
How
accent.
American women love an English accent.
Yeah.
That is so cute. Hi, I'm Stacy. Jeannie? Yeah. This is
So both of these girls are very attractive.
They are indeed, yes.
And he's just taking his woolly hat off.
He's from England.
Yep, Basildon.
Brilliant.
Basildon. It's about 5 miles from where we're recording.
Yeah.
Crazy about English guys.
Alicia Cuthbert.
Yes. Found fame in 24.
Yeah, she was in it for 9 years.
Was she?
2001 to 2010. Which I presume included one of the...
She
one of
must
the
have
films.
dipped in and out because she was the story in the first series of
Yeah.
24 because they kidnapped her, didn't they?
Yeah.
They kidnapped his daughter, and then she wasn't
Yeah, but she-
so pivotal.
But she was in it.
Yeah.
So they're now getting to say things in an English way.
Yeah.
Where are you staying?
I love the way they just do this scene, which basically ticks all of his boxes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is so cute. No, listen. This may be a bit pushy because we just met you, but why don't you come back and sleep at our place? Yeah.
I wonder if anyone went to the States having watched this film.
And what replicated flying to Milwaukee, getting in a cab and saying, "Take me to a bar."
I would be amazed if someone or someone's didn't do that.
Yeah.
And no couch. So you would have to share with all three of us.
Again, music choice is perfect.
Yeah.
I love this song.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant.
Yeah. Can't even afford pajamas. Which means we would be naked.
No, I think it'd be fine.
Would it make it more crowded? Harriet. You haven't met Harriet.
That's a fourth one. I like her because she is the sexy one.
Yeah.
Wow. Praise the Lord.
And he's a Christian.
That's brilliant.
What a great scene. Just ticks so many stereotypes.
Yeah, and again, by having Chris Marshall play it, who we'd seen him in, like, what's it, My Family, the comedy?
Yeah.
Bit of a bumbling type character. And that's it. That's the last bit you see from there.
Yes. Until,
Right at the end.
yeah.
So we've seen him, he's gone back to the room, we've seen his silhouette, and that's it.
He's achieved what he told his mate he was going to achieve.
But his mate had no faith at all he would
Yeah.
achieve that.
Well, I've happily finished my Duvel during that scene.
I mean, I know I said that the favourite is the original, and it still is. But what they have managed to do with that, the original, and this one, it's still superbly drinkable.
It's ridiculously drinkable for its ABV.
So if I'm somewhere, I mean, because Amsterdam, I know it's not, this isn't a Dutch beer, but you see a lot of it. And if I'm drinking it and someone said, "Oh, do you want another one?" I would have gone, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I did do.
Keep it going.
Yeah. And that's why I ended up
Keep
on
it
my
going.
arse that time.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's lovely. That's and really a bargain, I would say.
For $2.50 a can.
Yeah.
A bottle.
Bottle.
So used to saying
A can.
money a can.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
You said it almost without thinking.
I know.
mean-
It's so strange.
I mean, we've had cans explode. I think Duvel would be trouble in a can.
Could you imagine? Duvel in a can. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Somebody make that happen.
Yeah, I know, it'd have to be a good can.
Yeah. While we've been rambling on about how great Duvel is, we've missed a fairly important scene there. So she opened... they decided to open a Christmas Eve or a pre-Christmas gift.
Yeah.
She went for the box thinking it was the necklace, and it wasn't. It was a CD.
Yeah, by Joni Mitchell, which I think who's now playing, in the background.
A fairly important scene in the
Yes.
film.
So she's then knows instinctively where that necklace has now gone.
Yes.
And we saw
an image
the PA putting the necklace on.
Yeah. And apparently she had to film this scene somewhere in the region of 40 times. And every time she had to make herself cry during it.
Why so many times?
I just don't think they could. I don't think they quite got it every time.
It's hard to imagine Emma Thompson not nailing it.
I know, but How do you? That's the one thing that always amazes me with actors. How do you make yourself cry?
There are little tricks which they've talked about in the past. Like
Yeah.
even simple things about irritating the eyes, but this is more than irritating.
No, you can see she's genuinely upset.
Yeah, I mean, do you have to recall a moment in your life which,
Maybe.
which made you
knows?
cry?
Yeah. And for me, this begins a turning point of a film in the film where it goes from it's been a lot of fun until now, and now all of a sudden everything starts to get a little bit more emotional. There's a little bit more meaning to everything right through until the finish.
There's more impact now.
There's still some comedy moments, but now the story kicks in, or all the groundwork that's been laid.
This is where we start
kicks
seeing
in.
consequences.
Yes. Yeah.
So we had that funny moment with the Rowan Atkinson character, but behind that funny moment,
Followed up with the moment in America.
and then we get this,
Yeah.
and then they are going to the performance, the play, or the dress rehearsal.
I think it's the dress rehearsal. I don't think they're quite at the moment yet, are they? We've got another beer.
Yeah. So because it is a Christmas film, we are having a beer which Brewdog sent to us for Christmas 2018.
We've only just got around to drinking
Yeah.
it. That was a great advent calendar that they sent us.
But you'd be nuts to try and do this all the time. They've been generally big beers.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So, in reference to the aforementioned Ringo Starr, who's had a couple of references in this film, we have got Beetle Mania by Brewdog, 11.5% black barley wine. Oof. And I think with that comment by you, let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go.
Cheers.
And we're on to Christmas Eve in the film as well.
Barley wine knows.
Oh, without a doubt. And he's just secured the Christmas #1.
He is Christmas #1, and Radio 1 are phoning him live.
God, do you remember when they used to do that?
Yeah.
Celebrating? I don't know. Either I could behave like a real rock and roll loser and get drunk with my fat manager, or when I hang up, I'll be flooded by invitations to a large number of glamorous parties. Let's hope it's the latter. And here it is, #1 from Billy Mack. It's Christmas is all around. Oh Jesus, not that crap again!
He actually hates his own song.
Yeah.
Elton. Of course, send an embarrassingly big card.
So again, would you have to, because he's only said Elton, but Elton John, we're talking.
Yeah, you assume
So,
it's Elton John.
does that mean you need Elton John's permission?
Possibly not.
I mean, judging by Elton John's performance in the second Kingsman film, he doesn't seem adverse to a bit of
no.
taking a bit of Mickey out of
No,
himself.
absolutely not.
So Judy and John have had their date,
They
by the
have.
looks of it. And bearing in mind they've seen each other naked
It's all a bit awkward now,
and
isn't
simulated
it? Yeah.
stuff, and they're not really sure what to do now. He almost leaned in for a kiss there.
Oh,
Oh,
and there it is.
again. Tune.
Perfect music. It's this is again another example of. I know we've spoken about the score, but the soundtrack as a whole is so important.
Yeah,
to
it's
this film.
soundtrack style. It's not just throwing in random songs.
No,
So you wonder again. So Richard Curtis writes here. Who comes up with the bits about throwing in the songs and everything else as well? Because I can't imagine this film without the soundtrack.
well, I listened recently to a slight tangent here. Listened recently to something on the BBC Sounds app where they did an interview with Tarantino in terms of his films and his music.
Yeah.
He's actually got a music director that goes out and searches the music for his films. He says, I want this piece of music for this film, and they'll go out and search it, they'll research it, and they'll make sure they can bring that music into the film.
Interesting. Because these Tarantino films are known for their music. So,
Sorry,
Jamie,
talked all over
yeah,
that,
that's
yeah.
right. Jamie's turned up Christmas Eve at the family party, left the presents and walked out.
Having one of his nieces shouting, I hate Uncle Jamie.
Yeah. It's
Shortly
not-
after, I think she said, I love
Loved
Uncle
it,
Jamie. Yeah.
I hate Uncle Jamie. Tell you what though, finding a taxi on Christmas Eve in London, well done.
Seems to be perfect, yeah.
I mean, that's artistic license, I'm going
Yeah.
to say. I'm not sure how easy that would be.
So how is the Beetle Mania doing for you?
Not sure I'm really getting the black element of it.
I'm just getting loads of barley wine.
Yeah. I mean, colour-wise, it's darker than the usual barley wine.
It's raisins, it's
But-
Christmas cake.
Yeah. But as a barley wine, I think it's beautiful. I'm just not getting the you know, like when they sometimes we've gone
Perfect
about
barley wine.
you know, sometimes they're going
Yeah.
about black IPA, and you think, well, it's either sometimes it's stout, sometimes it's an IPA.
No roasted notes to it. It's just a barley wine.
Yeah.
It's just
But,
a really good
I
barley
mean,
wine.
we're having this obviously easily a year after it. I mean, so they had another year on this, best before 20.
Yeah.
So there's still plenty of time in it, but for me,
Probably go a little bit longer than that as well.
11.5%, I reckon.
Yeah.
But it's
easily.
tasting very good.
Oh, it's tasting incredibly good.
And it's nice because it's a barley wine, because it's I'm going to say because it's Brewdog and
Yeah.
it's in a can and they know what they're doing with their conditioning. It's nice carbonation about it
Yeah.
as well.
It's really good.
You know, sometimes barley wine can be a bit more towards the less carbonation, maybe even a bit flat sometimes.
Yeah.
This has got plenty of life in it.
It's everything's in balance with it as well.
Pretty much what you'd expect from
Yeah.
a Brewdog beer.
So again, it's not a Christmas movie, but we've got a Christmas song playing.
Yep.
There are people wearing Christmas hats and giving presents to each other.
Yeah.
How is it not a Christmas
I said
movie?
he was just saying that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Now here is a moment I do like.
This is brilliant.
So well done, this bit.
Yeah. I've goosed up as well.
Because you know what's coming. 'Cause
Yeah.
we've seen it enough times.
Yeah.
So Mark, Andrew Lincoln, has turned up at his mate's house.
Carol singers.
Brilliant.
And again, it's one of the iconic scenes of this film, isn't
Yeah,
it?
definitely. So this was a Bob Dylan thing, wasn't it, with the cards?
Oh,
was
was
that one
it?
of the Bob Dylan videos? I've got it in my head. I've got
Oh,
something in my
I'm
head, but
not
this was
sure.
taken from something else. But I could be making that up completely. But basically, he's using his art prowess to say what he thinks of her.
Basically, yeah.
Get it out of his system.
I think he needs to get out of his system
Yeah.
because he, again, at the end of this scene, he says something,
Yeah.
doesn't he, that almost draws a line under it. And obviously, after he found fame in The Walking Dead as well, there were lots of memes going around with various different things coming on these boards about zombies and beards and
I
all
bet there
sorts.
was.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, he is an incredibly clean-cut character in this.
in this he is. Yeah,
I'm pretty certain he was in Teachers as well.
yeah. And he's essentially declaring his undying love to
Yeah.
her here, isn't he? And I think this really brings home what the film's about.
Yeah.
It's not a Christmas film, though.
Merry Christmas.
Just wish them Merry Christmas. Maybe when he said that, he meant he didn't intend it to be set at Christmas.
Don't know what Richard was talking about that
I
time.
don't see how it would have worked any other way, actually.
You know what? Where this bit's been fair. It looks like that news in one of in the Kingsman film,
Yes, yeah.
where Colin Firth is bringing the taxi down
Yeah.
by remote control.
I don't think that would have helped him. She's just run after him and kissed him.
Although,
That's such an important
yeah,
statement, isn't it?
enough now.
He knows. He knows he needs to let it go.
Yeah, job done.
Probably for the sake of his friendship.
Yeah, and his own sanity.
Yeah, he's got to stop.
I do love this.
Yeah.
Billy Mack turning up at his manager's place when he's wearing a different suit.
Yeah.
This is like some sort of leather suit, which I can't imagine anyone else being able to pull off, to be honest.
And much as it grieves me to say it, it might be that the people I love is in fact you.
Kind of declaring his love for his manager.
Yeah.
10 minutes at Elton John, get his ears on it.
Pretty certain you're not having that line anymore, though.
No, I don't think so.
Half-naked chicks with their mouths open in order to hang out with you at Christmas.
It's that sort of mate love thing
Yeah.
that two guys of a certain age will find very
Can
hard
only
to declare,
appreciate.
but find it hard to say.
Yeah. Maybe like two guys sat watching Love Actually together
Yeah.
while drinking beer.
But then we're a different generation because we are another 18 years on. I mean, I never thought I'd get to the stage where when I greet someone, sometimes the handshake pulls into a hug these days.
Yeah.
Pretty certain that wasn't happening then.
I'm a hugger.
I don't think that happened then.
No, I don't think it did. Because just into the new century.
Because he goes out to just shake his hand, doesn't
Yeah.
he, the manager? Look, goes to give him a handshake. Awkward hug though.
Let's get pissed and watch porn.
Let's get pissed
To
and watch porn.
reaffirm ourselves as men.
That reminded me of the scene in Planes, Trains and Automobiles when they wake up and they've sort of hugged each other in the bed, Steve Martin. And, what was the actor's name? The big guy.
John Candy?
Yeah. And he goes, they're not pillows.
Yeah.
And then he's sort of talking about the game.
I'm very sorry about the thing that happened.
So Prime Minister's reading through some Christmas cards that have been left for him, and there's one from Natalie.
Because if you can't say it at Christmas,
She's got very nice writing.
Yeah.
I'm actually yours with love. Your Natalie.
I'm going to pull this one out at this point. The word actually is said 23 times in this film.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. In various ways around the word love.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
There was something else there must be a podcast I've listened to where there was a phrase or a name which is mentioned once a minute on average.
No, that was the Lost Boys. Michael.
That was Michael. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was what we did last time.
Yeah.
No, they were less unbelievable. So
Yeah.
23 times is rubbish.
Yeah, come on. Up your game.
Damn amateurs.
I love this. I think this bit is brilliant.
I just love the bit about Wandsworth.
The dodgy end. Never quite describe what the dodgy end of
No.
Wandsworth is, though, do they?
But Wandsworth Bridge does look as good as it does in the film, all lit up.
Yeah.
If you get it from the right spot. When you're on it, you can't see it.
No.
You need to be away from it.
And this scene's brilliant.
Yeah.
Knocking on the doors, and you're getting all the different characters
Yeah.
from throughout the film.
Some of it, but some of them are people you haven't seen
Yeah,
already.
but how do they all live in the same street?
I like this bit.
Right, fine. Thank you. Sorry to disturb. Aren't you the Prime Minister? Yes. In fact, I am. Merry Christmas. Part of the service now. Trying to get round everyone by New Year's Eve.
So he's comparing himself to Father Christmas.
Yeah. I like this scene coming up here.
Does Natalie live here?
No, she doesn't.
Oh, dear.
Are you seeing carols? Please, sir, please.
Very demanding children.
Yeah.
Most people open the door and hope there's no carol singers.
Yeah.
Suppose I could.
Please.
So Hugh Grant now breaks into singing,
Yeah.
as well as dancing earlier.
Must looked out on the feast of Stephen when the snow lay round us.
His driver is a great singer.
Proper Welsh,
Yeah.
sort of Welsh minor, isn't it?
Hello. Sorry to disturb. There's Natalie.
Oh,
Oh. The woman we don't really love.
yes, the PR wearing the necklace.
PA.
Yes, the PA, sorry.
But she knows that Natalie lives next door.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm afraid I am, and I'm sorry about all the cock-ups. Not my fault. My calendars are absolute crap. We hope to do better next year. Merry Christmas to you.
Can you imagine that sentence being said now? That'll be all over.
Oh, my word.
Social media. I apologise for my cabinet, they're crap.
Well, just before he gets to Natalie's door, I finished the
You
barley
have, haven't
wine.
you?
That was incredible. Spot on. Pairs perfectly with this film.
I mean, I have to admit, that's...
That's a Christmas barley wine.
Where the fuck is my fucking coat?
Brilliant. I'll tell you what, this barley one has coated the glass, though. Do Talk about meeting the family in one go.
Yeah, all of them.
This is the Prime Minister.
Yes, we can see that, darling.
Oh, I wonder if that inspired the line in Doctor Who. You know, where the Prime Minister kept on saying, I'm the Prime Minister, and they go, yes, we know.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
The local schools have joined together. Even St. Basil.
Too much detail, Mum.
Anyway, how can we help, sir?
How can we help, sir?
I do love that. I wonder if they said to her, just come down the stairs and swear as much as you can in
Yeah.
one sentence.
Oh, but just, can you obey the Hopinions house rule? Don't use the C word.
Yes. That's all
Natty.
you've got to do.
No, it's nothing really. No, really, it doesn't matter.
So time for another beer then, yeah?
Yeah, so I've decided we have one big one left to go. So, going to come down a little bit from the Beetle Mania. There's a science behind this. I want to say come down. We're going to go to 7.3.
Okay, it's not coming down a huge amount, is
Well,
it?
percentage-wise, 4.2%.
Ooh, that's quite good.
7.3% in these waters, India Pale Ale, and this is from Left-Handed Giant.
Okay, fantastic. I believe this was another one that came from the Real Ale box that we were sent.
Now, straight away, I mean that isn't a murky juice bomb visually. Great
It's not,
carbonation,
yeah.
hasn't it?
I love the way he's now in the back of the car with Natalie and an octopus.
An octopus who's in a nativity play.
Yeah, I'm still not getting this nativity play. Octopuses
Yeah,
and
I went
lobsters.
to a couple of Michael's nativity plays. I wasn't convinced about them either.
No,
all the time, actually.
actually.
Actually, well done.
Yeah.
Oh, it really was round the corner.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that costume he's in, paper mache and bubble wrap, wouldn't have been an easy thing to make.
No, absolutely not. Someone's done a great job with
Look,
that.
it does look good.
Yeah. I feel this is the moment from now on in that it again takes another step up
Yes.
in terms of it's ramping up everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It's bringing everything to a conclusion.
Yeah.
No, please come. It'll be great.
No, I better not.
So he says no, he's not going to come to watch,
Yeah,
but he gets extra brownie points when he decides to, doesn't he?
absolutely. Yeah.
So we'll leave that for a second.
Cheers.
Cheers. Looks nice in the glass, doesn't it?
Oh, it's got a good nose on it.
Ooh, I'm just going to say pineapple.
Yeah.
I'm only getting pineapple here. And maybe a few little bits in my glass. I mean, compared to
Yeah.
some of the stuff,
And again, we're seeing all the characters coming together.
yeah. So
We've now got the body doubles.
Liam Neeson and Sam are there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in
Back
France,
in Marseille,
yeah,
which I don't think we knew it was Marseille before
No.
we were coming out of.
Colin Firth has come out of the airport.
One taxi, that's handy, isn't it?
Yeah,
But Colin Firth, ever the gent.
always the gent.
Less of a gent in the first film I saw him in, which was Fever Pitch.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's all based on his the film by I can't remember the book he's
Nick
done.
Hornby.
Yep.
book.
And the book's all about him as an Arsenal fan, culminating in them winning the championship in 1989 against Liverpool. And even now, when I watch that film, I still can't believe the ending happens the way it does. But that's a different film.
Yeah.
But yeah, Colin Firth, ever the gentleman, because wasn't he Mr. Darcy?
Yes.
Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
That's where he was known from, wasn't it?
And again, the score is building.
Yes.
There's that score again.
And look, he gets brownie points because he's come to watch the play, and his sister thinks it's because of her.
And at this point, his sister really needs someone.
Yeah,
And she held him for the longest time there.
yeah.
The beer.
Really tasty.
Really tasty.
I
It's
think-
got...
It's quite sharp in places, actually.
I'm not getting any sharpness. I'm getting a lot of softness. A bit of tropicalness going in there. Not a lot of bitterness on the finish, which I was kind of hoping for based on the nose.
See, I am getting sharp piffiness.
I'm getting a really easy
But
finish.
on both of the New England style IPAs, I think we've both had a little bit of a different opinion, but I think both liking both of them.
Yeah. I've enjoyed every beer we've had tonight.
It's been very good.
We're clearly getting better at our beer selections.
We have our moments after 3 years.
Yeah.
I love that. She just said to him, If he'd been a lot younger, you would have been just his type.
Oh, and Alan Rickman's there, obviously.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, this is a much better produced nativity play than anything I'd ever seen.
Yeah, but I'm still not getting the lobsters and octopus.
No,
And fish.
no.
Wow.
Big fish.
Big wow. It's got a bit of wow, hasn't it? It's got...
Yeah.
And Spider-Man.
Spider-Man with a crown.
Yeah. We're not going anywhere with Spider-Man there.
Okay.
Although all of our Marvel fans probably want us to.
Yeah. Or maybe even the Sony ones.
You went there. You went there. You had
Well,
to
I
go
can't help
there,
but look.
didn't
We're watching this on a Sony DVD
you? That's
player.
true. Sony are going to ruin Spider-Man.
Again.
For the third time.
For the third time. Hat trick. Hooray!
Well, they never learn.
No.
So, it's the first time we get to see
The
his crush.
Yes. And she is a very, very pretty young lady.
And very talented singer as well.
Brilliant singer.
Apparently so talented that she sung this song so well that they told her she had to sing it worse than she sang it.
Really?
Yeah. Because it was so good when she sang it.
That'd be really difficult, surely.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a really good production for a
It is.
last song
Yeah.
with the Nativity playing it.
And this is essentially what one of the elements of the film has been building towards.
Yes. Because we found out about her quite early on, didn't
Yeah.
we, from Sam? This was shortly after the death of his mother. He had a crush, or in love as he termed it. And approval from the stepfather.
Yeah.
So, no, okay, this is the one. And he is playing the drums.
He is, indeed.
He seems to have mastered a drum kit.
The audience is enjoying it.
Yeah. I think this is the only song we actually have someone singing it in the film, isn't it, as part of the
And
film?
all the way through.
Yeah. Pretty
Without
much.
it
is.
skipping to another scene.
Yeah, it is all the way through because
Yeah.
you've got other things happening here, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got David and Natalie getting very close behind the
Very
curtains.
close behind the curtains. But at this point, you're so invested in all of the characters that you want them to kiss
Yeah.
behind the curtains.
Well, especially these two because they're both single.
Yeah.
There's nothing else going on. There was a misunderstanding. But again, it does make me wonder what happened if this was in the real world.
Oh, could you imagine the scandal? So the crowd are going nuts for the performance.
However, Sam's not so happy.
No, and the curtains have opened and... Oops.
Whoops. The Prime Minister. Now you can hear in the background. In the background, you can see and hear real cameras.
Yeah.
If this had been now, you wouldn't have been able to see anyone for flashes going on their phones.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, you would have seen it happening on social media.
Yeah. Yeah, there's at least a few hours grace he's got at the moment.
Yeah.
Before it comes out.
Get away.
Whereas before he gets in the car, it would be out.
Again, the score's back, so we know we're building towards something.
We're
now.
building to a different moment.
Yeah.
Tell me, if you were in my position, what would you do?
Position's that.
Imagine your husband bought a gold necklace and come Christmas gave it to somebody else.
Such a bittersweet moment, this.
Yeah.
To find out if it... No, would you wait around to find out if it's just a necklace or if it's sex and a necklace or if worst of all it's a necklace and love? Would you stay?
Dialogue is brilliant.
Yeah.
Be a little bit worse? Or would you come around?
No one's getting angry.
No, she's telling it how it is.
I'm sorry.
almost makes it more impactful than if she had decided to throw something at
Yeah.
him or scream at him or tell
She's
everyone.
been very calm with him.
And
I know you need to make a decision.
yeah,
Come on, I've got treats at home. Let's go.
Fantastic show. Classic. Robinson.
Thanks.
now you would have said you smashed it.
Yeah.
That would have been the phrase.
Tell her what?
Tell her that you love her.
No way. Anyway, the flight tonight.
Even better. Sam, you've got nothing to lose.
I watched me and Michelle happened to stumble on the comedy channel the other night. We saw the last episode of Friends.
Oh yeah.
The bit where Ross is trying to get to the airport to tell Rachel.
And that scene where he's on the phone and he's listening to the message, and then
Yeah,
she got off the plane.
that is exactly
Yeah.
it. Well remembered.
I've watched it many times.
It's brilliant.
I'm a
We-
massive-
Watch it. I was a massive Friends fan.
Yeah.
But we were sitting there. I just flicked on it. It's like, it's the last episode.
Sorry.
That's okay. My fault.
No, it really wasn't.
He's just bumped into Claudia Schiffer.
Yeah.
Said, aren't you?
Again, Richard Curtis asked for someone who looked like Claudia Schiffer to play this role. And when they couldn't find somebody who looked like her, they asked her if she'd do it, and she was happy to do it.
I'm sorry, you know, at the time, especially, there is it's Claudia Schiffer, isn't it?
It is.
I'll make sure we do.
I like the kids. They're both like, what's going on?
Yeah. What are these two? They can't even talk to each other.
Yeah.
Tell them.
What?
You know.
Nice one, Sam. Did he say you're an arse?
This is it now, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're building to the big finish now. On all elements.
Yeah.
All of the stories that have been told until this point.
I love
come
this.
together.
I love that. I know a shortcut to Heathrow.
There is
Really?
there is no shortcut to Heathrow.
All entrances to Heathrow are
Yeah.
shit.
But at the same time, Colin Firth has just turned up in. I don't even know where he is now. Is he still in France?
He's got to be. He came into
Yeah.
Marseille Airport, so he's still in France. How did he know where she lived? Oh, he dropped her off the night.
Yeah.
You want to marry my daughter?
Yes.
Sorry, we're all in subtitles now.
Come here.
So
She's never seen him before.
Aurelia did refer to her sister earlier.
Yeah. And she now thinks he wants to sell her to
Yeah.
him. So we've established he wants Aurelia,
Yeah,
and now her father's taken her to work.
yeah. And I don't know who the other woman is. Doesn't even look not
No.
necessarily like the wife.
No.
Just someone else who lives in the house.
And her sister's telling her that her dad's about to sell her to an Englishman.
Yeah, and they all just get up.
Yeah. And meanwhile we flip back to Heathrow.
Yeah. Gate 36. Brilliant.
Again, the score.
Yeah.
It's so good in this film.
Actually flying. You can't come through without a boarding pass. Not even to let the boys say goodbye.
No, not in 2003, 2 years after 9/11.
No.
You're not getting through.
I'm sorry, Sam. Boarding pass?
Joking aside, there's no way, is there?
No.
And Rowan Atkinson makes his second appearance.
Yeah.
Very briefly.
Doing what he does best in this film.
Yeah.
Procrastinating.
Apparently, he was actually going to play. His character was actually going to be a Christmas angel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they decided at the very end of it that no, they'll just have him being
But if you
Rowan
look at
Atkinson.
it,
That's what he
that's
is doing.
essentially what he is.
Yeah. But we've established he isn't because he's working in the jewellery shop.
Well, no, but you look at the jewellery shop scene, and he's dragging it out almost to stop him from buying it,
Maybe.
to do the right thing.
I'd love it if I could go through Heathrow and it's
Oh,
hardly
could
any.
you imagine?
That with so few people.
On Christmas Eve,
Look,
there's no one there.
there's no people.
There's no one there.
What time of the day must they have filmed this then? This would have had to be
I don't know.
between 12 and 6.
Maybe they got exclusive access to it for an hour or so to film
No,
it.
couldn't. It'd have to be like an overnight thing, wouldn't it?
Or they set up a studio to look like it. Again, The score is building and building and building.
Well, you know what? It's building to like this bit coming up. It's like from The Graduate, isn't it? It's a Dustin Hoffman character is it the church scene? The Graduate.
Now there's
Back
a
to
mob.
France.
There's a mob with Jamie escorting
it's a
him.
very well behaved mob.
Yeah. Now apparently he's going to kill her.
Cool. So presumably that's the little kid who said
Gone
that.
from marrying to selling to killing her.
Yeah. But Billy Mack plays a part again.
He does. He plays the part all through the film.
Yeah.
Because he promised if he
If
got to number one,
he would strip naked.
he'd get naked on
TV.
Christmas Eve, wouldn't he? And of course everyone wants to watch that, so it allows Sam the opportunity to bypass the security.
Sam? I thought you didn't know my name. Of course I do. Oh, Jesus. Go on.
I'm not sure that would just happen now.
No.
The kid would be just handed back.
He's playing the proud father as well, isn't
Yeah. Well, you would be. Well, that's Christmas sorted
he? And
now.
she's come back to give him a kiss. Yeah.
Kiss on the cheek, and then she's gone off.
He's happy.
Yeah.
That story's done. Another one ticked off. They're happy.
And also, they obviously had a good relationship, but there's a cement of that
Yeah.
relationship there as well.
And here we are. Jamie's found the workplace of Aurelia.
Busy workplace? Well, it would be. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
He can't do that. She's our best waitress. Brilliant. It's quite good because we don't actually see it, do we? Oh, she's on the mezzanine level,
Yeah.
looking down at Jamie, Dad, sister, and a mob.
She's spotted them all, hasn't she, at this point? I want to talk about the beer, but I want to watch the film.
Yeah, we'll come back to the bit.
Okay.
We won't forget this because this is a lovely moment.
For me, this is the moment of the film. I love the point where Sam gets through, but this is amazing.
Well, it's because very early on we saw Colin Firth's character Jamie wronged.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
We've wanted him to get to this other journey, haven't we?
And he's speaking his best broken Portuguese
Yes.
at this point.
As coisas são muito claras para mim. Não preciso de prova.
But again, I love the way they're using the subtitles.
Yeah, because they've kind of worded it wrong and
Yeah.
you'll meet Prince William, you can marry him instead.
Eu saber que tu não és
It shows the age of the film a little bit there.
Yeah. Pre-Kate then.
Yeah.
claro que eu pensar que tu dizes não.
He's asked to marry him and he's predicting she'll say no.
Yes. So he's done it in full expectation. The answer's no, but
But it's Christmas and he wants to check.
yeah.
Oh, pelo amor de Deus!
Say yes, you skinny moron. Brilliant.
Thank you.
She's learned English.
That will be nice. Yes. Is being my answer. Easy question.
Love it.
She says yes. And
Yeah.
on that note,
Cheers.
Cool. I'll tell you what, for a canned Russian Imperial Stout that I've decided to pour, 14%, it's got a really barrel aged nose.
Big nose, licorice.
Yeah.
Got licorice in there.
It smells chewy.
A little bit oaky.
It smells like I'm going to have to chew this beer.
Yeah.
But
She's coming downstairs. Everyone's applauding.
Jamie's about to get kissed within an inch of his life by lots of people.
Yeah.
It's a good moment.
I love it. I love it.
because he was really early on.
Yeah. It just, for me, it just brings together the entire film.
Yeah.
Every element of the film comes together at this point. And then we're into the finish.
But this tune now goes on for a little while.
Yeah.
Full on kiss on the lips from Father. Back to the airport.
Yes. A month later. So, end of January now, are we?
So they've got Dry January out of the way.
Yeah. Billy Mac's back from wherever he's been.
Yeah, with Greta.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay,
And
so
all of a sudden we know everyone knows each other.
yeah. So Jamie knew all of them.
Yeah.
You never tells me this. I think maybe now I have made the wrong choice. Picked the wrong Englishman.
It's a nice way of doing it
Yeah.
to see how they're closing
Because
their
it's how it
circles.
started as well.
Yeah.
It started in the airport.
So Harry's been away.
Yeah.
Rickman character.
They'll make up.
Yeah.
They'll come back from this.
But
It gives you that feeling.
yeah, but it also gives the feeling he'll have to work at it,
Yeah.
and rightly so.
Absolutely.
So why is Claudia Schiffer there?
Yeah, well, they're
What's her
obviously seeing
involvement?
each other now.
I love this bit. Sorry, the Martin Freeman character. I might get a shake at last. Brilliant.
Oh, he's back. Colin's back.
Colin Frizzle is back.
Yeah.
Really pleased to meet you. I hope you don't mind. I told about my sister to stay.
Colin's eyebrows say it
Yeah.
all.
She's real friendly. Must be Tony.
So a very
Come on, you
brief,
must have a fact about that one.
a very brief cameo appearance by Denise Richards, who played Christmas Jones
She did indeed.
in The World Is Not Enough.
That, again, that wasn't accidental, was it? Surely.
No.
It's a Christmas film in which Christmas Jones appears.
Yeah.
And Natalie does the most unorthodox.
Or I suppose First Lady kind of
Yeah.
thing. Just leaps up at him.
Yeah.
And then we just switch to just lots
Closing
of...
of happy scenes.
Yeah.
I don't think I can't think of another film that's as feel good as this is at the end.
No, I'm smiling.
Yeah, I am.
I'm
I love
smiling
it.
now. And yes, it is a Christmas film, but if someone put it on at another time of the year, I'd watch it then as well.
I generally tend to only watch it
Yeah,
at
but if
Christmas.
someone else put it on, you'd find yourself watching it.
Oh, you'd watch it too,
Say you
yeah.
flicked through, like I said, I found Friends. You'd flick through and
Yeah.
Love Actually was on, you'd carry on watching it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because whichever point it was on, you better pick it up.
Have we actually spoke about this beer? Yeah.
No, we haven't finished off the
Okay.
last one either.
Okay, so the last beer.
So the beer before the Brewdog Radio Zombie phone in 14%, the LHG 7.3% India Pale Ale. I think both of the New England style IPAs have surprised us tonight.
I've actually, despite my initial reservations about the first one, enjoyed that one as well. Maybe that one, as it advertised itself as purely an India Pale Ale, would have liked maybe a little bit more bitterness to the finish on it.
Yeah, but again, you know, because we're both on record more than once of having our opinions about a New England style IPA, both of these I think were both very nice, both well balanced.
Yeah, enjoyed them both.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what you say we're now drinking the Brewdog Radio Zombie Phone-In, which was part of, again, last year's Advent calendar.
The Advent calendar that gives.
that just keeps on giving. This is a Russian Imperial Stout, and did you say it was 14%?
I did, and
It's not even barrel aged.
no, but it's got that nose on it. It's a thick beer. It's delicious.
It's absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
For me, there's licorice up front.
The licorice was quite prominent actually when you said
It's
that.
licorice, and there's a little bit of sweetness. which gives way to a little bit of dark chocolate in there.
I think
There's a subtle hint of roasted notes, but they're not overpowering,
no.
which drives through to a proper dark chocolate bitter finish.
Yeah, there's a nice dryness with
Yeah.
that bitter finish. But again, it's so well balanced, which makes it incredibly dangerously drinkable.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, as the film's playing out, so this is the Kelly Clarkson song that we spoke about earlier on.
So
The
this is
Trouble
the
with Love
one.
Is.
Is this the? So do you reckon?
So this was the breakout song in the American version.
So
of
does
the
the
film.
Sugar Babes play out the US version?
We need to find out. We need to find out what plays out the US
Because
version.
that would make sense, wouldn't it?
It would. The tunes were switched.
Yeah. It'd be a shame if there wasn't a reciprocal arrangement.
Yeah. Well, it should be, shouldn't it? It should
Yeah.
absolutely be.
Well, I'm going to assume it is.
Yeah. But again, so as a film, we've both thoroughly enjoyed that.
Oh yeah.
It's far away from anything else we've done on Opinions on Films.
And probably
Previously.
will be for again or at least a long while,
Yeah.
judging by the ones we've got lined up.
I'm not sure we're going to go quite as a...
So rom-com.
No, not for a long while. But I thoroughly enjoyed the film.
It flies by every time I watch it.
Yeah, I was surprised that when we set out, it was like, oh, the film's 2 hours 10. We know how long the film is, and yes, it has absolutely flown by.
Yeah.
I think it's the way the film is paced. In terms of, like we say, up front, it's like bang, 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 bang. Here's stories, characters.
Yeah.
Get used to what's going on, and then it slows a little bit, and then it slows a bit more, and then it brings it to a grand finale.
It ties everything up.
And I think that's just what works with it so well.
It does. Anyway, Steve, it's been brilliant.
It has. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Cheers, mate.
Feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. Christmas is all around me, and so the feeling grows. It's written in